What is going on YouTube? Hayden here, and in today's episode we are going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Solana, Bitcoin, VONG, which is the Russell 1000, and the S&P 500. Today is Saturday morning. I haven't been able to make a video in about, I'd say 2 days. I think we left off, 2 days ago here. I've been on the road traveling, slowly making my way back to Florida, so I probably won't have a video out tomorrow as that will be the long 10-hour drive back to Florida, but after that, come Monday morning, everything should be back to normal and we'll have our normal daily uploads. I had a bit of time now to squeeze out a video and I wanted to update you guys over the weekend here, see if anything has changed over the past couple of days. So to start, we are going to be covering XRP, which you can see still is well within its descending fractal. It actually is perfectly within its descending fractal, rejecting off this price ceiling right here, slowly making its way lower. We'll also be looking at and covering Ethereum, which is still in its downtrend. Solana, which is actually starting to rally up. This is actually good news, something that we're going to have to talk about here, as well as Bitcoin, which you can see might be trying to breach through top price ceiling, which is definitely a good sign, as well as VONG, Russell 1000, slowly heading down back inside its descending fractal, kind of with the S&P 500. We'll talk a little bit more in depth about that in a little bit. And also today, we're going to be covering a meme coin for sponsoring today's episode known as Doge 2.0, the people's cryptocurrency, who Elon Musk happens to be following on Twitter. And I'll update you guys about that a little bit later into today's video, but a lot to go over, a lot to discuss, and a lot to talk about as we are starting to make some progress heading to the upside, which is definitely a good sign. But with all of that being said, smash that like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's get right into today's episode. So guys, as you can see, a couple of days ago, not yesterday, like 2 or 3 days ago, we talked about how XRP Ripple holders, we kind of called this and not to be fooled before this drop actually takes place, as we were kind of expecting and anticipating a correction. I think it was on Ethereum here. If I zoom into the 4-hour, we kind of knew we were going to see a rejection off the top price ceiling and correction to take place. You can see we had this kind of 4-hour ascending fractal, ascending triangle heading to the upside, broke through support, kind of fell back down, and we're starting to consolidate out. So as you can see, things are pretty much going according to plan. But again, it was on the 4-hour. It was only meant to be a very short-term quick trade within the day. When we take a step back, things kind of start to slow down because we've been inside a major descending fractal since, seriously, like last year, December of 2024, we've been in a lower high, stair-stepping, descending fractal here. Lower high, stair-stepping. I mean, it doesn't get any more textbook than this. What we're waiting for is confirmation above price ceiling, and then we'll rally up. But I know that's not what you guys are here for, so I really quickly want to update you guys, and I know you're not here for this either, but I want to talk to you guys about Doge 2.0. I want to give a huge shout out to Doge 2.0 for sponsoring today's episode. As with all cryptocurrency projects and platforms, please do your own research and never invest anything you can't afford to lose. Now, if you've been watching the crypto world for any length of time, you would know that Dogecoin captured the hearts and wallets of millions of people. But now there's a new pup on the block that's ready to take things to the next level. Doge 2.0. This isn't just another meme coin. It's a full-fledged project with real momentum, a passionate community, and the attention of some major players, including Elon Musk himself. Yeah, you heard that right. Head over to their official Twitter page and you'll see that Elon Musk follows the account. You must be following him as well to see it, but that's a huge signal within itself. If Elon is watching, maybe you should be too. Next, check out the full project at dogealtcoin.com. The website is packed with details from a sleek, easy-to-use dashboard to full tokenomics, a detailed roadmap, and everything you need to get started. It's not just a white paper and a dream, it's a real functioning ecosystem. You'll find clear instructions on how to buy, connect your wallet, and track your holdings with ease. The site also features staking options, live charts, and a growing number of community tools. It's designed for both early adopters and also long-term holders. Now remember, the earlier you get in, the bigger your potential upside is and also risk. So definitely do your homework and don't invest what you can't afford to lose. Coins like this can move very fast, and if history has taught us anything, it's that the biggest gains go to those who act before the crowd. So whether you're a seasoned crypto trader or investor, or just someone who missed out on the original Dogecoin run, this is your second chance. So definitely make sure to visit the website, follow the Twitter, and make sure to move while prices are still low. Otherwise, you can check out all their information in the description down below. Otherwise, let's get back into the technical analysis. So really briefly, before we get right into that technical analysis, as you guys can see in today's crypto market cap here, we're at 32 on the Fear and Greed Index. We used to be at like 17. So the fact that we're slowly moving up is certainly a good sign. The markets are without a doubt mellowing out. We're consolidating the past couple of days. Volume has like completely died off. You can see looking at the past, I don't know, couple of days here, the market's only up 1%, but over the past couple of days, flatlined out completely on Bitcoin, flatlined out completely on Ethereum and XRP. And BNB. Solana is the only crypto for the most part that is not pretty much just trading sideways here, which is quite interesting if you ask me. And like we said, we left off seeing a small break to the downside on the 4 hour of Ethereum here. And now we have to update and kind of figure out what in the world is going on now. And you'll notice within XRP, we are still stuck in a very large descending fractal, but we're back up above major resistance. Last week, the week before, for many days, we have been calling what I would think is going to be a very nice a head and shoulders pattern here. Beautiful head, shoulder and beautiful head. And we're looking for the second shoulder right here. We've clearly discovered a neckline. We have a beautiful shoulder first, a beautiful head, and we're looking for the next shoulder, which would confirm our theory of breaking and pretty much falling off a cliff, pretty much nosediving to the downside here. But before we do that, we would see a little bit of a relief rally and then nosedive to the downside after. We're kind of near that right now. We had this fluke of a market correction here with the stock market dump that caused us to fall all the way down. But just as quickly as we fell down, we rallied right back up using this support and filling in the gap quite nicely. We're looking for a breach above this neckline, this downtrend here. And then we'll be able to buy in long and leverage to the upside for a short-term buy and long opportunity, which for those that don't know, we'll be doing so on BITUNIX, which is a super cool exchange. We'll talk more about them tomorrow when we have, Monday, when we have more time to discuss and go over them here. But prior to that, we can use we can use this indicator to pretty much gauge when that breakout will be. And it could happen as early as next week, which is certainly something to be paying attention to here. But aside from XRP, I do want to look at these other cryptos. You guys know the story. Consolidation, wait for the gap, we'll break out. We have one of two options here. We either break through ceiling, relief rally to the upside, break through neckline, and dump to the downside, and we'll just short this. Very simple and very easy. But ironically, or what's interesting is, like, while we see XRP, we did have this run to the upside, so I guess there is that. Solana has managed to break through its descending fractal here and started to head to the upside here. We confirmed closure above this, and we're slowly but surely heading up, which is excellent. When I think we have a target set right at this moving average here that I've pretty much said is where we probably move to over the past several days now, several weeks, if anything here. Since we confirmed closure here, or since we were filling this gap in, we needed to wait for closure above this yellow resistance for us to head up to moving average here, and that's exactly where we're going. From that breakout, we're up. Nothing to write home about, but certainly we are up quite a bit. Let me just grab this here. You can see we're up a total of 16%, which is excellent here. And I do think we have the probability of going even higher. Let's grab that. I think we're due to see a 40% run when we fill all this out. So that's certainly good news if you ask me. You just have to, this was a buy-in opportunity, but for those that missed out, above 140 would be that buy-in for a long-term several-day hold up to probably 170 at its peak, and then maybe we'll plateau and see that head and shoulder, the final shoulder, causing correction in the markets here. But other cryptos look primed and ready to see the run too. It's very interesting. Like you can see on Ethereum here, we've been in a descending fractal since mid-December of 2024, and since then we've just been falling. Every now and then we do consolidate out and retest that resistance, this neckline right here, and the goal is that we can come back to retest this, break through, and head up to this relief rally here at a target of $2,300 on Ethereum, maybe $2,400. That's what I'm looking for. But the longer this takes, the lower this moving average is going to go, and then target might be closer to $2,000 or $2,100. So there's a lot of room for Ethereum to move, but right now we are in a consolidative point. We haven't broken out of these resistances, so there's really nothing to focus on. Bitcoin's getting very close to this resistance too. This could cause correction here. Let's wait this out. Today is Saturday, so let's wait till Monday to see kind of what's going on here before we make any sort of drastic buying opportunities. We're flatlined out on 50 on the RSI, so we definitely look good, and we do have the potential to head higher. So let things kind of settle off. And really, I want to focus on, the stock market here, because this is really where everybody's been focusing on. And what the stock market does is having an immediate impact, or at least recently, on cryptocurrency too. So you can see we are in a bottom, or nearing the bottom. And as we figured, we had that major relief rally, but now that the dust is settling, we're slowly starting to lose volume and head back down. So you can see we are in this major ascending fractal here. We had a huge buying opportunity, but since that reversal here, we are heading back down, which is totally fine if you ask me. You can see if I jump to the weekly, you can see we're kind of consolidating out, lowering ourselves, losing the volume right here, right on neckline, or on the support, which is totally fine. You can see the major down spike, and look at all this volume, and now we're slowly starting to lose volume, and that'll cause us to mellow out here until we get some good news, and then I think we're going to be right up to where we started from, if not even higher, which is excellent. I'd be very shocked at this point if we had even lower. Certainly feasible. I'd be very distressed, because that would be like a 38% sell-off from the top, which I don't think, the president wants. But until then, we do look good. Like the weekly, we look really good. The likelihood, the weekly, we fall even lower, like I was saying before. We've already fallen a total of 20%. We hit bear market. So we rallied back up to 14%. Excellent. The likelihood we go here, 45%, very unlikely. Doesn't seem like it's going to happen. The likelihood we go to the monthly chart, which you can see would be a 45% sell-off, would be insane. We haven't seen that since I think like 08, like major recession or depression at that point here, or 35%. You can see maybe, but I don't even see us retesting that, because even with the pandemic, we had a global market shutdown, and the lowest we fell was 35%. Why would something like, the president talking about tariffs cause a 35% correction? Just his words, seeing 35% doesn't make sense. When the last time we saw 35%, we had an entire worldwide global shutdown. That caused that. Obviously, the two don't weigh the same. There's not that much power in that. So to cause something as extreme as 35% would have to be a lot more than just tariffs. You know what I'm saying? Especially when Trump tomorrow could say, guys, I'm lifting all the tariffs, good news, and boom, markets could go all the way back up to where we started from, which is probably what will happen at some point or another. It's just words. It's not a physical effect like the economy was during the recession and the unemployment. But that's it for today's video. Huge shout out to Doge 2.0 for sponsoring today's episode. See you in tomorrow's video. Peace.